kind of cleared away. But on this channel that is my personal channel, the one I should be considering my main project, I put out 5 videos. 5 videos over 12 months and 52 weeks and 365 days. Just 5 videos, one of which was a re-release compilation of my most successful video of all time. And normally in a year that wouldn't get to me too much, but this was supposed to be my big 10th anniversary push to finally validate myself as a YouTuber, and I totally flubbed it. Completely screwed it up. Could have done a way better job, and I just didn't because I don't know, man. I mean, let's be fair. Not all the videos were like terrible pieces of shit. The Lightning Collection video I did with Database Ranger definitely could have been way better, but that was just constraint over doing something like that from the first time getting in my way. However, the videos I put out in the last 2 months with editing help from Buster Corp did turn out fairly well in terms of just being constructed and solidly put together and not total pieces of shit. I think I look like a total piece of shit in them. I look so claustrophobic, crammed in between 2 bookcases that are jam-packed with nerd shit, like I'm trying to impress somebody, even though I made the point way back in Megaforce Sucks that you shouldn't need that. That shouldn't be a thing. Am I really overcast right now? I'm worried like I might be really overcast right now and just looking like some villainous jackass. I'm going to turn the camera around. Hopefully this looks better. And if you're wondering why I'm all bundled up, it's because I chose to shoot a video outdoors on the fucking Friday before Christmas when a goddamn winter vortex is bearing down on me full of Canadian terror. And it's very chilly. There's a lot of wind. So I'm sorry if you're hearing a lot of wind. I'll try and edit it out in post. But that's not the point. The point is, this year has kind of been just the apex of me feeling like I'm spinning my wheels all through my 20s. I'm always trying to jam the channel into some new box of a format that it doesn't really fit into because I don't really fit into it, because it's not my format, because I ripped it from somebody else. And the last 2 videos were just the latest example of that. I was just doing Secret Galaxy, and I even fully admitted that to Buster when I said I wanted their help editing them. I was like, watch this channel, get a feel for the style, this is what I'm trying to replicate. I wanted something easy to fit into and get out on a monthly basis because I was just mad that I hadn't put out that many videos over this year. And I mean, if Dan and Greg can do it every week, me and Buster can do it every month, right? But that's not the point. That's not what you people want to see. You want to see me. You want to see my opinions. This is the Vacuuminator, not Vac Media or Void Productions or some silly shit like that. YouTube should be about personalities. It's not like old media where copying something that is successful is supposed to be a surefire win. It's a surefire trip to obscurity and being a fucking joke. Look at the irate gamer. Point is, the harder I try to get successful on YouTube, the more desperate I seem, and the more I try to just do what I think is going to work instead of what I actually want to do, what I actually can accomplish. And what I'm good at is just talking in front of a camera about something I'm passionate about with a little bit of editing. Yes, I like to script things. I like to have a big, nice, concise, constructed, argumentative point that I throw at you. But the older I get, the harder I'm finding it to perform that kind of video. Honestly, the most fun I've had performing for a video is all the stuff we shot at the Modular Summit last month. The vlogs, the lectures, even the podcasts. Even though we do podcasts every week on Modular Media, just the in-person spontaneity of all of it was so much fun. And I feel like that's what I should be bringing to this channel. It shouldn't be some stuffy little product, content, made in somebody's room, something you've seen a billion times over and over again. It should be me, this madman weirdo in 3 layers, sitting in the middle of a deserted college campus, yelling at a camera. Yeah, we're on this bench now. Just felt like I needed a change of scenery. That's why the lighting's different, and my beard is slightly different, and there's not as much wind, but there is some construction sounds off in the distance. It's totally just because I wanted a change of scenery, and not because the wind from last week totally fucked up my audio for the rest of the recording and I had to come back and reshoot this. No, I'm good at YouTube. So yeah, what I was doing just wasn't working, and I wasn't really sure how to fix it or what it needed until just a couple weeks ago when B-Mask released his video on Kickassia, which might actually be my favorite video uploaded to YouTube this whole year. I don't want to get too deeply into it because you can just go check it out. But like, whatever you feel about B-Mask or about Doug Walker or that whole guy with the glasses situation, you can't deny that both those guys have this thing about them. They have this certain kind of cult of personality that's a through line through all of their content. No matter what they're talking about, what they're doing, whether it's supposed to be connected or not, it still always feels like it's that same guy. And I want to kind of get back to that. I want to capture that. I want to go back to the days before YouTube was always these very specifically made mass appeal kind of things. And I'm not saying this stuff doesn't exist out there, it's just not the main thing you see anymore, and it's not been what I've been trying to push my channel towards for the last few years. And I really hate that, because the reason I got into YouTubers and the reason I got into online media in general was falling in love with personalities, wanting to see everything these people did and follow them around. And that's what I feel I really have to be. I have to get back to that old sort of kayfabe wrestler style of YouTuber where your videos are your personality times 1,000. And I'm not saying I'm going to come out on camera and scream and dance around and be wacky tacky man every fucking video, but I want to have the videos I upload be things that are very much representative of me in the moment, me talking about something I'm passionate about and actually having something to say, getting to a point. One of the biggest problems I had with those videos that I recently put out is I didn't feel like I was making any real points except this is a show and it's good, or this is an episode and it's good. And that's not good enough for me. You know, a YouTube video should have a beginning, a middle, and an end, and it should all build towards a point, or it should all have a point carried through it. It should be circling around and building on this one thing that you want to talk about. Even if that just is, thing is good, that's what you have to do. You can't just say, thing is good, and here's some external details about it. So if you haven't guessed yet, I am scrapping my plans for next year, which were pretty much to continue on with that Secret Galaxy style and having Buster as my assistant editor. And I was going to have like a subtle storyline kind of building towards the 30th anniversary of Power Rangers, covering some of my favorite seasons, but something always going wrong with each video, eventually building towards the return and final confrontation with Ranger T that would see us actually becoming friends and him being like the new Rich Evans of my channel, and us fucking talking about how like Tommy is actually good sometimes because we're both kind of sad that JDF died. And like, that's corny and cringe and bad, and I don't think anyone would have really liked it. And so good that that's getting scrapped, because that is the kind of stupid bullshit my mind kind of comes up with when I try to plan out storylines or commentary on hyper recent events. Like it probably would have actually come off as really insensitive, so I'm glad I didn't actually do it. I may still do some stuff to cover the 30th anniversary. In fact, I want to. It's just not in that grand kind of build-up fashion, and it's not going to be like, here's my favorite seasons, or here's my favorite episodes, or characters, or suits, or whatever. It's going to be more kind of like, here's some Power Rangers videos sprinkled in with all this other shit, because I want to do a bunch of other shit. It might like, depending on what you get from me, you might get tokusatsu, you might get something else, you might get a toy review, you might get something that I had to slap together in a few minutes. But next year, I want to go weekly, and I want to always put out something that I'm passionate about making in that week, even if it's just a quick little thing. And I'm not going to, like, stick to a day. I'm not going to have, like, these optimum specific plans of, like, this day you have to shoot, this day you have to edit, this day you have to post, because, well, that does help you out in the algorithm. I really don't need that kind of stress, and, like, part of the point of doing this is to get more looser, get more about me and how I'm feeling in the moment, rather than having these huge operatic plans for the channel. Oh, and if anybody's worried about how this decision might affect my friendship with Buster, don't, okay? We spoke about it. We're good. We're still going to do our Tokusatsu podcast twit together every week. We put out a new episode today. You can go check it out. There will probably be a link in the description or the cards. We're good. We're fine. So ultimately, that's where I'm going in the next year. And there's a lot of risk in doing that, sure, but I think there's also a lot of reward to be gotten. And that's really the direction you always need to be headed in as a YouTuber. You need to be going towards risk and reward. Doing the same thing over and over again can lead to complacency and can lead to your videos falling out of style. And that has certainly happened to me. I may not seem complacent because I constantly have been changing styles and directions and whatnot, but I've always been going in that copycat direction, and that has made me very complacent. I live in this beautiful, amazing city. I've been here for almost 5 years now, and I haven't really taken advantage of it outside of one video I shot at my local vintage toy store, which doesn't even exist anymore. It's gone. I pruned it along with a bunch of other shit in an attempt to make my channel look more like a well-constructed, well-oiled machine that's always putting out these perfect videos. And that's another thing that has to stop. I don't want to delete content anymore. Like, it messes up your algorithm, and it leads to stuff getting lost. A lot of videos that I do actually really like and would like to be available again are just gone now because I thought I had them on a good secure drive, but I checked and the files got corrupted and I don't have the original files, so I can't remake them. Shit like 10 Vacuuminator is just gone now, and that's entirely on my stupid ass. My quest for perfection and being the perfect YouTuber has to stop, and that's kind of the mission going forward, and I'm really going to need your help in supporting that decision. Like, do all the YouTuber things, like, comment, subscribe, but also check out my group channel, Modular Media. We do a lot of cool stuff over there. We're about to wrap up a month of posting videos from our first in-person meetup. I did a lecture on all of the Code Lyoko animated series. There's a toy hunting vlog that's coming out tomorrow. Cool stuff, in my opinion. But also, like, I need monetary support. I don't want to e-beg, but I do have a Patreon. I've had a Patreon for a long ass time, and it's only 2 tiers. $1, name at the end of the videos on screen. And access to a monthly podcast about what goes into making my videos, which is sure to be pretty interesting this month because there's a lot about the spot process that I just chose to leave out of this video because it gets a little too personal, but I'll share it with patrons. I'll share it for $1. And $5, you can ask a question on that podcast. You can submit a question for it, or I'll read out your name at the end of the video, and nobody has gone to that tier yet, so that's why I haven't done that yet. But, like, if you do that, that's going to be a big help. That's going to be a sure sign that what I'm doing is working. I also have a merch store. You can go and get a bunch of shirts and crap with my logos on them. I get kickback from that. The artists who have made these designs will get kickback from that. And also, just like, if you think this video looks or sounds like shit, you can go on my Throne. I just made a Throne list. You can buy me a new camera or a microphone or lights or just a cool action figure that I decided to put on there. Like, there are a bunch of ways to help me out and show me that this is still worth doing, which is what I really need. I'm going into my 11th year of doing this, and I don't want to threaten to quit YouTube or anything like that, but if I don't have, like, a good uptick in numbers by this time next year, it's gonna be time to really reconsider where my life's at and what I'm doing, and maybe put this on the back burner for real, rather than just out of pure lazy, I don't wanna. So yeah, I've been trying to think of a way to make the ending of this video a little profound and kind of work, but you know, it doesn't really have to. That can kind of be part of the charm. We need that spontaneity back, as I keep saying. So the plan going into 2023, to sum it up into bullet points, is going to be me taking the helm of this channel, getting hopefully regular weekly uploads done, and kind of varying up the topics, keeping it to things that I am passionate about, and making points that I want to make with this channel. You know, getting back to the old idea of, I don't care if somebody said my opinion a million times over. I want to be able to add my opinion to the conversation. And also just like, hey, please help. Please help make this thing that I've been trying to do here forever a reality. I know this is a two-way relationship, but I'm going to start putting in my fair share that I should have been putting in from the beginning, and hopefully you guys will respond. Yeah, that's it. That's the final The Vacuuminator video for my 10th year and for 2022. I hope you all have a fun and safe New Year's. I'll see you sometime in the first week of January. And until then, guys, until next week, guys, this is The Vacuuminator reminding you that you never fail until you stop trying. Later.